I actually just caught up with my youngest client last week, 22 years old, and
Wow.
bought a home all by himself
Nice work. Whereabouts
in
are they?
Hamilton.
Hamilton, hell of a
Yeah.
spot. They'll be after the Chiefs final soon, beating the Crusaders. Josh in the background, producer, big Crusaders fan.
Yeah.
So talk us through their journey. Like how did they get themselves in a position to be able to buy a property at 22?
Yeah, I think you just kind of come across people that are just super driven and motivated and people that, have a goal. Like personally for myself, I had a job since I was 14 years old. I wanted to buy my first home young. And so I get really excited when I have young people come to me wanting to buy a home because I've been on that journey. I've been there myself. And I think it's cool when I bought my first home at 25. And when people come to me and at 22, 23, and they're looking to buy their first home, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, something that I think a couple of my young clients have done really well is, just having a goal in mind. Obviously, like they wanted to buy a home young, so they've done what they can to get there, like contributing to their KiwiSaver, saving, putting money aside, and getting themselves into a job where they can earn like a high enough income to service a mortgage.
Yeah.
And then it's like this concept around a lot of young people are flatting as well. Whereas if you can actually afford to like buy a home, get the mortgage approved, you can get a couple of mates in the house with you paying board. So they're covering like a huge chunk of the mortgage as well. And I think that's a strategy of a lot of young buyers that have been buying recently is rather than just renting out another property, they are buying a home if they can and then getting a couple of mates move in, charging them board.
Gotcha. So option one would be they go and rent a place with their mates and they're going, well, actually, perhaps I could buy a property. My mates could come and rent with me or live with me and pay rent. And then that makes the mortgage serviceable. And now they're paying for a property rather than renting.
Yeah. And they're contributing to their future,
Yeah.
rather than their money just disappearing and, paying someone else's mortgage. So, yeah, I think that's really cool. We've also got the first home loan scheme, which is a great scheme that we have in New Zealand, 5% deposit. So you actually only need to have 5% deposit to buy your first home if you meet the income requirements. And I think that's something that a lot of young people don't realize as well. Like a lot of people think, oh, yeah, I've got to have 20% deposit or 10% deposit. No, you can get it done on 5% deposit. There is a way, as long as you can afford to service the debt.
And is the servicing of that debt a little bit more expensive because I've got less of a deposit? I read recently that lower deposit purchases are increasing, so more people are buying properties with less than 20% deposit. But is there a downside cost to doing that?
They like with that scheme in particular, they have to pay like a lender's mortgage insurance fee, which is a one-off fee that can be added to the loan amount. But some of the banks still give them the special rates.
Gotcha.
And then the high cashback offer as well. So there's no disadvantage there with some of the banks in terms of interest rates with having the low deposit.
So it's probably myth number one that you need 20% as a deposit. That's not true.
It's not true.
Nope.
And
then going back to what you're saying before, like the starting point for these people is goal, right? So their goal at a young age is I want to buy a property. So they haven't brought into the belief that it can't be done. And then I guess their actions start to line up with their belief or their goal. So their goal being I want to buy a property, belief being I can do it, therefore I'm going to take actions towards doing it. So KiwiSaver, to have KiwiSaver contributions, you're going to need to have found a job like yourself. You start working at 14, very much similar to me. And then we have our income, and then we start looking at budgeting, saving, and all of a sudden it becomes a lot easier for people to believe that it is possible because they can see themselves getting closer to the goal. But I think the average first home buyer age might be around 37. So to do it by, did you say 22? Is
22
incredible.
is incredible. Like I went and took him a box of beers.
Yeah.
And interviewed him because he's just incredible. Like that's such a cool achievement to have the confidence as well to get a mortgage and to buy a home at 22 years old. Like what an absolute legend. Yeah, super proud.
Can we see this interview with him somewhere? Is it available?
Absolutely. I recently just created a business Instagram.
Oh.
I put it off as long as I could. I'm not really an Instagram person, but there it is. It's mortgage broker Sarah _ and we will be posting this client's story in the next couple of weeks because I think he's an absolute legend and an inspiration to young Kiwis. Like I am inspired by him. He beat me. He bought at 22 and I was 25.
Well, you say you don't like social media. I guarantee you're going to get some blowback if you roll out content of a 22-year-old buying their first property in New Zealand. So I look forward to that. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry. But these stories
Hopefully not.
always become polarizing for people because they look at it and go, like, you basically, this person is then showing some people who have the belief it can't be done,
Mm.
that their belief is wrong. So, of course, people are then going to attack that person because their beliefs are being tested. So there's just a bit of pre-warning for you there that will be interesting to see.
Oh man, like I really hope not. Like I just hope that like Kiwis can just be happy for other like Kiwis that have, made sacrifices. Because buying a property, like it is a sacrifice, Like I remember when I bought my first home, like I had friends going off traveling overseas and I was saving up, making the sacrifice to build my deposit. I was like, I think 10K short on my deposit to buy my first home. I had to sell my car. I
Oh,
sold my car and I used my mountain bike to get around.
yeah.
Um, that's how much I wanted to buy my first home, and I think the reality is like buying a home, like it's not easy. And I think people make sacrifices to do it. So we should be celebrating people that have made the sacrifices in their life, worked hard and taken that step to buy property if they can.
Well said.